objected at a wedding? It was 11 hours before I was supposed to marry my fiancée Rachel when my brother texted me, "Get to the bridal suite now," and trust me, my brother is not the dramatic type. He's the guy who broke his arm skateboarding and walked it off for 3 days before seeing a doctor. So when I got to the second floor and saw him standing outside Rachel's door with his fists clenched, I knew something was catastrophically wrong. I could hear a man's voice inside. Not hotel staff, not her father. A voice I recognized, but my brain refused to process. My brother held out a spare keycard. "I can go in if you want," but I was already taking it from his hand. The door opened, and there was my fiancée Rachel, in a hotel robe that was barely tied, and my cousin Marcus, shirtless, sitting on her bed. The same Marcus who was supposed to be my best man tomorrow. The same Marcus I'd grown up with, who I'd helped through his divorce last year. They both turned toward me. I stood there trying to rewrite reality in my head. Then my stomach decided for me. I threw up in the hallway trash can, turned around, and went straight back to my room. I locked the door and didn't come out. For the next several hours, there was pounding on my door that sounded like someone was trying to kick it in. I'd been in that room for almost 26 hours. Phone dead, relying on my brother to cancel everything. He said he'd take care of it right before I put the deadbolt on. Now I was 6 beers deep, and I looked like I'd been in a car accident. Then came 3 sharp knocks, my brother's knock. I opened the door, and my brother and my mom pushed their way inside. Mom was switching between English and Italian curse words I'd never heard her use. That little witch. After everything we spent. My brother grabbed my arm. "Why are you still up here? The wedding is happening right now in the garden." I couldn't understand what he was saying. "What are you talking about?" My brother's voice went quiet in a way that scared me. "Rachel is down there right now marrying Marcus. They're using your venue, your flowers, the whole thing." I grabbed my phone and plugged it in. 63 missed calls. Over 100 messages from guests. "Rachel told the vendors you had a substance abuse relapse." My brother continued. "She told everyone you gave them your blessing to go ahead with the ceremony." I was already pulling on shoes, scrolling through messages. Rachel had sent a novel about how she'd been in love with Marcus for months. Marcus had texted, "Sorry bro, when you know, you know." I took the stairs 2 at a time, reading more texts. My uncle asked if I was really okay with this. My grandmother said she was confused, but staying because she'd already flown in from Florida. I walked into that garden ceremony mid-vows. The officiant was talking about soulmates. Rachel was standing under my arch in her wedding dress. Marcus was in a tuxedo that looked exactly like mine. Maybe 40 guests were still there. When they saw me walk through the gate, every face went from confused to horrified. The officiant stopped mid-sentence. Marcus went completely white. Rachel's eyes went wide. "Are you kidding me right now?" Rachel said. I kept walking down the aisle without breaking stride. "This is our ceremony now," Marcus said. "You walked away from her." I laughed. "I caught you in her hotel room the night before my wedding. That's not walking away. That's having self-respect." Rachel stepped forward, her voice taking on this concerned tone. "You're clearly not well. This is exactly why I couldn't marry you." A few guests gasped. "You were my fiancé. You gave a speech at my bachelor party about how excited you were to be my wife." Marcus crossed his arms. "Everyone who stayed knows you're unstable. That's why they're here supporting us." I looked at the remaining guests. Most were staring at their phones. A few from Marcus's side nodded like they believed him. "Is that what they told you? That I gave permission for this?" One of my co-workers raised his hand slightly. "Rachel said you were in treatment and wanted the wedding to go on." I turned back to Rachel and Marcus. "Here's what's actually happening. My mother paid for this entire wedding. Her name is on every contract. The venue, the catering, the photographer, the band, everything. Neither of you signed anything." Marcus's face drained of color. Rachel's hand went to her mouth. "You can leave now, or you can explain to my mother's attorney why you're committing fraud." My mom was already on her phone calling her lawyer. Marcus grabbed Rachel's hand and practically dragged her toward the side path. She was still in her wedding dress when they disappeared behind the hedge. Have you ever objected at a wedding?